Hello, Leo. Thank you so much for being here again, you guys, and happy Valentine's Day. All right, Leo, beautiful cards this week. So from Lay Vampire, you pulled Eternal Youth, Energy, Newness, and Vitality. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Service, which I think is nice, but then I also think that maybe you need to start doing this. But it's only because there's this youthful energy that's being like returned to you. Now, eternal youth, right? Being rejuvenated, filled with all this new energy and potential, looking good, feeling good. Your health is good. People are attracted to you. And it's because of your free spirit and optimism, which is great. But service is telling you that you need to give up what you think you deserve and attract what you need by being of service to others. Now, some of you, rather than getting attention, you are providing an important service to others. But again, it's about giving up what you think you deserve. Now, the card at a glance says that this card indicates a steadfast ability to stay the course emotionally and create something sustainable and lasting. But it can also bring to light not seeing or valuing what you have. And that may be where some of you are needing to just kind of give it up and do something for somebody else. And then that way you attract to you exactly what you're needing. All right, Leo, here we go. Here's your overall for the week, the Two of Wands. So thinking about taking action, making plans. But with the Two of Wands being the overall, really what it's saying here is that there's been like a spark of inspiration, because originally you start with that Ace of Wands and it's like having that fire lit under your ass and making you want to go after something, but like needing to make plans before you start acting here. Now, in some cases with the Two of Wands, it's one of those things where, there are two different ways that you could do something here, and it's you needing to decide on what the best course of action is before you take it. Again, you hold your own world in your hands. What are you going to do with it, right? But planning something here and planning to take action on something. Now, in the past, the Six of Wands, very nice. So recognition, victory over adversity, which is what I love about the Six of Wands, but it is about, receiving recognition for a job well done. Some of you may be receiving some attention, well-deserved attention at that, though, with the Six of Wands being there. And with the Two of Wands, you can be planning, how to continue this. Very nice. Very nice. And the time, I feel like, is right here more so than anything. When you're talking about the Wheel of Fortune, right? Fate and destiny, the turning of the wheel and good things happening, but it is the ending of a cycle. It can be talking about repeating cycles here, but timing is what stuck out. The time is right now for you to start this new cycle, but to change the way that you've done things, and again, with the Two of Wands, you're thinking about the action before you take it, which is good, but something coming back around for some of you. Oh boy. Future conditions, justice. Now, if you're thinking about acting here, when you're looking at justice and future conditions, it's really about making fair and balanced choices, not just for you, but for everybody involved. So fairness and balance, and right, like it could be fate coming back around here and things needing to be corrected, wrongs needing to be amended here, especially if for some of you, you feel like you didn't receive the recognition that you should have. But, I think that that's not the issue. I just think that if we're deciding on doing something here, it's like not really taking action yet, because there may be some things that either need to be corrected or amended, or you need to make sure that what you're doing is going to be fair and balanced. Your best path to follow, the Three of Wands. Yeah. You need to wait for the right time here before you take any further action. I do feel like the timing is right here for you to start planning things out. But with the Three of Wands being your best path to follow, it's saying before you take any further action, you have to wait and see how things are going to develop here. And then, not only that, but looking at the long term. What does that mean in the long run if you take action on something that may be coming back around for you? You know, you don't want to be quick to make a decision here and then act and then have things kind of fall apart because you didn't really think about what that was going to mean in the long run. So just, you know, wait a minute here. Wait a minute before you take any further action. It's like you'll know when the time is right. And it may be that, you know, some of you need to wait for things to be corrected. Okay. Now, in your environment, the Queen of Cups. Now, if we're talking about a person here in your environment, you know, we could be talking about a water sign, but as far as the energy that's surrounding you because of this person, it's saying that you're emotionally involved. The Queen of Cups gets really involved in what's going on. It's funny because I keep wanting to say the Queen of Wands. But with the Queen of Cups, right, I mean, this could be somebody that is recognizing you. You could be, you know, recognizing them. Maybe there's a situation that's coming back around here with somebody in your environment. But like I said, with her being there, you and somebody else here are emotionally involved in what is going to happen. There's an attachment. You know, I don't think that she's a bad thing, though. But I worry a little bit. Because like I said, it's not just you. It's the other person too. And again, you know, it's like coming back around here with the Wheel of Fortune. But before you act on this, it's like you have to wait a minute and make sure that this is like what you want to do. Is it a fair and balanced choice for you to get involved possibly with a person again? But there's emotional involvement for sure here. Okay. Your hopes and your fears. The Six of Cups. The past. Looking back at the past here. The past returning. Possibly the good things from the past coming back up and hoping for that. And again, when you look at your past, you're looking at the Six of Wands, being recognized. And, you know, as far as justice being there, I do think that for some of you, it's, you know, needing to walk away from things in the past and like making corrections with that before things start moving again with the wheel. But this could definitely be about somebody from the past coming back through for some of you, possibly here. Looking back at the past and hoping that, you know, the good things from the past come back through. But I still feel like you have to wait here. Because if you act on this, again, with the Three of Wands, what does that mean in the long run for you? But you're emotionally invested in this. Okay, and then coming out, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so if you have a situation coming back around for you, you know, and like I said, for some of you, it may be a person coming back through, you know, and again, there may be this emotional attachment to or emotional involvement with the Knight of Pentacles coming out. It's like, take it slow. I don't think that, you know, this is about somebody dragging ass here. I really think that it's about thinking about what you're going to do before you actually do it. You know, and again, it's because of these two being here. And I've been saying this a lot this week. Now, usually when I see the Knight of Pentacles, I think, oh my God, this thing is going to be dragging ass. You know, it's like, come on, let's pick up the energy here. But maybe slow and steady wins the race is better than doing something that, you know, you might regret later on. I mean, there's not anything here that would indicate that. But again, with the Knight of Pentacles, there's a reason why you need to kind of like take your time, maybe be a little bit cautious about moving forward, you know, especially if you're wanting things to work out or if things need to be corrected before you like really full on invest in this as far as the action goes, because emotionally you're already there. Oh my goodness. All right. So now temperance, right? Patience, moderation, balance, tempering your emotions with your mind. And again, needing to be a little bit more cautious about how you proceed on this, especially if we're talking about a relationship that could be possibly coming back through here. You know, Now, as far as an existing relationship, now is the time here for, things to be kind of corrected and fair and balanced out here. Thinking about the action that you're going to take before you take it, and taking, the partner into consideration before you decide to do something. But like I said, I do think that this is a situation that's coming back around for some of you. And again, it may have to do with a person, but you are emotionally invested in this, and so are they. There is an attachment here for sure. But it's like you got to wait, right? Now, as far as the moon goes, this is one of those things where now is not the time to make any definite decisions. There may be some confusion as to why, this situation is coming back around. The moon, though, too, is one of those things where, and I've been saying this repeatedly when we're talking about the illumination cards. This is the inner self-reflection that is happening. That is why it's attached to the subconscious mind. You could be looking at yourself in the situation in a distorted way, and possibly, projecting unnecessary fears and anxieties onto a situation. But the other thing is Pisces keeps sticking out on this. That may be the time frame here, especially with the Wheel of Fortune being there and timing being the thing that sticks out the most. But again, with the moon, if you're confused about the situation and confused on how to move forward, now is not the time to make any definite decisions. Wait a minute. Just kind of wait. Wait to see how these emotions kind of unfold for you, before you take any action. Because again, there's a need here to make sure that things are fair and balanced out, and really thinking about, again, what that means in the long run, if you are to take action on this. But it may be hard, and that's why Temperance is coming through, because like I said, there's emotional investment in this. Woo! And for some of you, it may be because there's like this new energy that's surrounding you, and somebody may be seeing you in a different way. And that's where that recognition might be coming through. All right. So with birth, this is one of the few cards in here that gets specific. It is about an actual birth, right? But when you're looking at it as far as new growth and create, it's saying that with wanting new growth in your life, you have to bring to life this, new creation, right? With needing to create your life the way that you choose. But being a creator in your own life here, and really a new path that's like coming to life here with birth. Now, for some of you, it could be an actual birth, and congratulations, right? And definitely new growth as far as that goes. But this new growth that's happening is like, it's brand new with birth. But it's something that you are creating here. Wow. Okay. Let's look at Whispers of Love and see what other messages there are for you guys. And consider your foundation. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Whenever this card shows up, I immediately question on whether or not the person is truly committed. And that's okay. I mean, if you're not fully committed to something, it is time to consider that, right? Now, if you have something coming back around, even if there is an emotional attachment, you may not be committed to following through on this. And that may be where the caution is coming through. But be supportive. It's one of those things where if there is a connection here, right, like you need to be supportive as far as like, maybe not right now, but like I'm still here, right? Now, as far as like an actual relationship going on, somebody else may be worried that you're not fully committed to the relationship, and there's a need to be supportive. But again, Leo, now is not the time for you to take any action just yet. You will know when the time is right here, right? Timing is going to be important when it comes to this. And again, Pisces keeps sticking out here with the damn moon. But I'm interested in birth here, this new growth, this birth happening, and you creating this in your life. Like I said, there's emotional involvement in here, but needing to make sure that things are fair and balanced before you actually act on this. All right, Leo, so I don't know what the hell is going on with the damn moon. I think a lot of people are just now like feeling the effects of the last full moon here. And it's funny because I was just recently talking to Jay from Aquarian Insight about how it was anticlimactic for me. And now all of a sudden it's like, boom, now it's here. And it seems to be affecting everybody. So overall here, you really need to think about what you're going to do before you actually do it, and really think about what that means in the long term here. And it may be because, you're being recognized by a person here, and I feel like there is emotional involvement on both sides. And again, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like this is coming back around, and it may be, the past that's coming back around. You may be looking at, good things from the past coming back through, but timing seems to be an issue here. I think that you will know when the right time is, but I do think that there's a need here to really think about, what is fair and balanced for you, and that may be why there's this little bit of caution coming through as far as the Knight of Pentacles and taking it slow. Making sure that what you do is fair and balanced, not just for you, but for everybody involved. Now, I think that the reason why you're getting this attention again is because you're doing something for others, but then also there's this new energy that's around you, right? And that may be where that recognition is coming through. But like I said, for some of you, it's a need to be patient with this because there is emotional involvement and an emotional connection. And I do think that this is going to have to do with a relationship for some of you. Now, again, with the moon, now is not the time to make any definite decisions on this situation. Be cautious moving forward. Think about what you're going to do before you do it, and really think about what that means in the long run. But again, time frame, if we're talking about timing here, especially with the Wheel of Fortune, Pisces, it's like everything is going to be coming around here during the time of Pisces. But now, as far as the soul trees, this new growth is asking you to bring to life something new for yourself, but you are responsible for creating this here. So new growth happening, it's a new life for you, a new experience, and you are a part of the creative process here. Now, as far as whispers of love, now with consider your foundation, I wonder if this is about you or if this is about the other person. It could definitely be both here, but as far as be supportive, if somebody is not fully committed, it's important that, you're there and showing them that support, like, that's okay, I understand, right? But I feel like that goes both ways. But, it's important, though, too, if you're not fully committed, to still be supportive to the one you love. But Leo, I'm telling you, there is emotional involvement here. And again, it may be something from the past that's coming back around, but just don't make any definite decisions to act just yet.